So my main problem for today is that I don't have any dry socks anymore. So, well, I have these ones, but if I would make these ones wet, I wouldn't have any dry socks anymore. So I'm actually thinking to just go back into my wet socks. 1, 2, 3, go. Get into my wet shoes. Nice. Beautiful. The weather is actually better than expected. I think they forecasted like rain pretty much all early morning, but yeah, it's dry, but my feet are cold. I think here is very close to the border to Croatia.
But before crossing the border, I had to figure out some way to deal with my cold and wet feet.
Dry socks, ladies and gentlemen. My feet are like really cold. Yeah. Holy shit. They're tight. Yep. That's the way we do it. And then back in the shoe. Nice. So now I've got dry feet in wet shoes. So good morning, it's a new day. First night here in Croatia, and it was snowing. Look at this. Still got some snow on the mandolin. And yeah, it looks quite nice, but this place is like wet and muddy here. But yeah, I'm packing my stuff. My tent is still wet. It's like the outside of the wall is dry, inside of the wall is wet, and every time I pack it together, the inner part of the wall makes the whole tent wet again. Anyways, just keep packing my stuff now, and then I think it's another about 70 kilometers to Zagreb. So let's get moving. It's cold. 58 kilometers to Zagreb. It's going uphill and downhill, and it's cold, but it's actually quite beautiful though. Oh man, I think it's just starting to snow. Very, very fine, I can see.
And it didn't take to learn until the fine snow turned into proper rain. At a temperature just slightly above freezing, it's not much fun to cycle in this sort of weather. So I booked myself a hostel to get my stuff dry again and gave busking here a shot.
So I'm heading out now. Out of the hostel into the city. Everything is wet. My guitar strings are wet. My electronics of my amp is wet. I hope it's still working. I'm leaving Zagreb and cycle towards Ljubljana, which is about 140 kilometers from here. It feels like wind has some kind of consciousness and it decides actively to go against me. I'm now just about to actually leave Croatia and enter Slovenia, because here, exactly here, is the border. And here we go. We are in Slovenia. Let's go to Ljubljana. So I am here, put a little more, and then I'm actually getting to the river. I think I just push on a little bit more, maybe I can find a really sweet spot between the river and the highway.
let's keep cycling.
I'm back on the bike moving towards Ljubljana. From here it's about 75 kilometers. And the scenery is, to be honest, quite nice. I actually was planning to play, but then I met some other people, so kind of skipped playing here, but I really met some awesome people, which kind of made the whole stay in Ljubljana just awesome. And now I'm going to meet Declan. Declan I met in Brno in a hostel, and he's a young English guy. He travels around. He actually started hitchhiking, but I kind of convinced him to buy a bicycle. So he bought a bicycle, and we are just about to meet up now here in Ljubljana and then keep traveling a little bit together. We are on the road. Quite busy here right now, and we are heading towards Trieste, to Italy. And we have headwind and it's supposed to rain later and tomorrow. So we're approaching the Italian border. It's about 10 kilometers downhill. Easy going, and then we are in Trieste. And here we are, Italy!
As soon as we crossed the border and started descending down to the sea, it instantly became more and more warm, and spring seemed to already have much more progressed here.
So everything's already kind of green. It's awesome.
Unfortunately, the sun didn't last long, and it felt like that we have dragged the clouds with us into Italy. So just a few moments later, the weather reached quite apocalyptic proportions. It wasn't raining yet, but an insane wind picked up and gave us a decent push towards the west. So we considered this as lucky, but not for too long though.
And here we go. It's raining. Everything's wet. After the raging, I'm fine. Declan he's just getting wet. I don't know. I think we need to find a place to get some shelter.
Declan, who was new into cyclotouring, didn't want to take my advice to buy some sort of protection against the rain and got completely soaked. But we managed to find a bridge where we could make a sweet little bonfire and dry ourselves as good as possible. By the next day, things already looked much better again. The sun was shining and our clothes were more or less dry again. So back on the bicycles, we started making our way through the northern Italian lowland towards Verona. In Verona, Declan and me split up and went into two different directions. While Declan wanted to cycle more down towards the south and eventually take a ferry to Greece and carry on into Turkey and further, my plan though was to catch a train to go a little bit more north to meet my bandmate Lucas in Bressanone and continue basking with him together. So stay tuned for the next episode.